All right. Come on in.
Thank you.
Finally getting some non-fictional friends over. And look at me. I'm a complete mess. Yeah. So.
Can't argue with that.
Cheerio, buddy boy.
Cheers. So, what did you have in mind?
Well, you see, for our hangout today, I found this weird box the other day. I think it's a GameCube. It's some sort of console. Very new and high-tech stuff. And
So we're playing a video game?
No, I couldn't make it work. It was a wireless thing.
Okay.
So I traded it for a board game. So today we are playing this game.
Wowie-kapowie. That seems like a great trade to me.
Right? It's called Masters of the Light. No, wait. That's
Hamsters of the Night?
Mobsters of the Might? No. Masters of the Night.
Ah. Looks cool.
Yeah? Want to
Yeah.
check it out?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
All right. Shakakapow!
Ah, yes.
Really excited about this game, dude.
Yes, me too.
I remember back in the days when I used to have friends, we used to play board games all the time.
You had friends?
It's a long time ago, okay.
You lied to me.
I'm sorry. Hey! Yo, dudes! What you doing? I'm Lobo the Hobo.
Wowie Vagabowie? Lobo the Hobo?
Hey, Lobo.
Hey, yo, is that the new werewolf game I've been hearing so much about?
No, Lobo. That's in the next episode. How many times do I have to tell ya?
Today we're playing Masters of the Night. It's a vampire game.
Vampires.
Vampires? Vampires? I don't need no stinking vampires, man. I'm out of here, suckers. I'm Lobo the Hobo.
That was Lobo.
What a strange character.
Yeah, he is quite the character.
Mm.
All right, let's open
get
this.
playing.
Agnes. This coffee's not too bad.
Damn good cup of coffee.
Damn good. So, it's getting late, man. It's like in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, hello there. We're back. Even Juan is back. So,
I am.
he is. I was a bit worried for you after last episode.
Yeah, it got a bit hairy for a bit, but I got better.
Horses for horses. But you know, now I am joined once more with a master board gamer of the night, Jahn. And Jahn, why don't you tell us what we are playing or talking about today?
Yes, today we are talking about Masters of the Night by Nikolay Aslamov, and it's published by Ares Games. It is a game about vampires.
Vampires. Cool.
Yes, indeed.
Not werewolves.
Not werewolves, vampires. Yes. This is a cooperative game for up to 5 players. You can play it alone if you want to. And it's a character-driven game, so it's possible for a player to play more than one character. So if you play it alone, you can play with 2, 3, 4, 5 vampires, or if you're playing 2 players, you can play 2 vampires each, or you can just play 1 vampire each.
Yeah. So tell us about the story of the game or the setting of the game. Like, what is the premise?
Yeah, so the premise is that you are a group of vampires that need to establish your dominance in this town. And you do that by performing a ritual. And to get to the point where you can perform the ritual, you need to fulfill certain
tasks, and you do certain actions that kind of influence the power structure of the city, and you send out minions, you fight agents.
Try to control the police or the radio station or the clergy.
So the point of the game is for this vampire family to basically take over this city.
Yes.
Yeah. Very nice. What did you think of the setting? I
really liked it. I thought it was really good, and I thought the game was really good at bringing it to life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The art is very... it looks very good. It really sort of immerses you into this world.
It's dark and gritty, and at times I was like, I know they don't name the city, but I was almost like, this is almost like it could have been Gotham City.
Yeah.
I got that vibe from the buildings and how everything was designed.
Yeah, it has a very sort of dark Gotham, Sin City kind of look to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the atmosphere and the visuals, everything is really cool. And on the visuals, let's talk about the visuals. So that's like the components, the map, everything. What did you like? What did you think of the, let's say, the tokens, figures, components, all that stuff?
I liked it. The figures look really good. The cards are very dark, but you don't really have any problems seeing what is supposed to be what. The art style is very clean.
Very tidy. Everything is very tidy and clean with this game.
Definitely. And all the cards have these little newspaper headlines on the back, and it looks really good.
Again, adds a lot to the atmosphere of the game.
Yes, it really does.
I mean, once you've played this game or with the setup, everything is so neat, and you don't get confused. What like some games, the setup is heavy.
Yes. Takes a long time with some games.
And you open it, there are like components and tokens and stuff everywhere. This is kind of the opposite of that.
Yes, it is a very good insert. And it's very quick to tidy away and to put everything back out again. And once you've done it once, then it's
easy.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, what do you want to talk about next, Mr. Obi-Wan?
Well, that's a very good question. Well, there are some very interesting aspects of this game. We mentioned that it's cooperative, and you play as a character, and all of the characters have very different abilities.
Yes.
And these abilities sort of influence your gameplay and what sort of strategies might work and what strategies might not work. And the combinations of characters in play is going to affect your gameplay experience.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk of just easy, like, a very simple way, just explain how the game functions and how the game turns are. Like, you have when you start and set up the game, you have these buildings. You have how many buildings? 9, was it?
Yes,
3 by 3.
Yeah.
And there's one tile that is the starting tile, and that's the railroad station. So the characters come to the city
at the railroad.
The railroad, and then you start moving around, and all the buildings have some special, what do you say, action,
some sort of ability.
Ability. And some buildings have certain abilities by day, some buildings by night, and most of the time everything goes by itself. So you start with a day phase, and then you just check the buildings that have something on the day phase, and then during the night, that's when the vampires move.
Yeah.
So, how many actions will we do?
You do 2 actions.
2 actions each character.
Yeah, but the way it, I think it's a good way to view it is that during the day stuff just happens to you, and during the night you affect the game.
Exactly.
Because during the day, that's when people are going to try to hunt you down.
Yes.
And things are just going to happen depending on whether or not you've managed to control these different areas of the city. And during the night, that's when you actively move around and you try to hunt the people who are trying to hunt you, and you're trying to recruit people and do all these things that you're trying to achieve.
And they actually had some cool mechanics on that as well, where when you get attacked during the day, you are weaker with the way you use the dice.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
And when you fight in the night, you can choose what dice to use.
Yeah. So you have this dice pool that you roll at the start of the game, and those are the dice that you have until you've spent them all, and then you re-roll them. And depending on which dice you use when you fight, different things happen. So if you have a low die roll, then you might take damage. If you have a high die roll, then you're going to manage to kill someone.
And if you end up, for example, having to fight in the day and you don't have the right dice, you might not even be able to take out the agents.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool stuff around that. And
one thing that's worth mentioning is that the game does not have player elimination.
No.
Everybody's part of the game until the end, but you can get sort of knocked out, which just pretty much costs you a turn, which is annoying, and it's a major setback, but it's better than having a player eliminated, halfway through.
Kind of like this game.
Kind of like this game, yeah.
Yeah, I really liked the gameplay mechanics where you have these 2 actions and you have to go from building to building because you have to control some of the buildings. You don't want the agents to take over certain buildings. Yeah. And you have your character sheet, and as you kill these agents, you become stronger by feasting on these agents. You level up.
Yes, and you unlock more powerful abilities.
Exactly, that was really cool. And all the characters have 2 special abilities. One that is unlocked on, I don't know, level 4 or 5, and one that is like level 6 or 7, something like that.
Something like that.
And there are some buildings that you just really don't want the agents to take over because that'll just mess up your game completely.
Yes.
And some buildings you can kind of sacrifice, at least for a while. But you don't want too many agents on the map either.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, and let's talk about that. The way you can win or lose the game.
Yeah. Yeah, so winning the game is essentially just... There's one way you can win the game. Each vampire has their own sigil, and they have to get to their own sort of maximum level.
Yes, and the sigil, what does the sigil do?
Yeah, so you put down a sigil in an area where you are, and then it gives you a permanent bonus.
Yes.
For the rest of the game.
And you can't do that until you're level 9, which is the max level.
Yeah. And then when all of the vampires have put down their sigil, and they have to be on separate spots around the town, then all the vampires have to converge on the same area, and then you have to get a certain number of your minions, equal to the number of vampires, and then you perform
bloodbath.
Yeah. You sacrifice all of the minions.
Yes.
And you win the game because you do the ritual. Yeah.
They should have an expansion where you're fighting Blade.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I really definitely hope there will be some expansions to this because I really enjoyed this game.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Speaking of, you said all these characters.
Yes.
Just a funny thing was that you can kind of see how it feels like they are actually a vampire family.
Yes.
Traveling together, coming here and like trying to take over everything. And all the characters have some cool abilities.
Yeah.
Some were more powerful than others.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But they're also more expensive to use.
Yeah, that is true. That balances out a little bit.
Yeah, and it also depends on which other characters are part of the game. So
Yes, there are
Yeah.
some nice synergies in between some of the characters.
yes, there are.
Yeah, the gameplay as well, easy to learn,
Yes.
easy to play. You don't spend a lot of time on each turn.
No.
Not a lot of downtime in this game, I would say.
No, not at all.
Not at all. And everything is like there, because of all the interaction. Like your turn is also affecting my turn, and we're planning things together. Okay, you do that, and you send that guy over there, and I'll go there and kill him, or you reveal that agent, and I can attack him. Like,
Yeah, because we played this twice.
we've played this twice.
Yeah, and both times we ended up spending a lot of time playing our turns sort of in a kind of synergy.
Yes.
Like, I'll help you do this, and you'll help me do this, and if you do that and I do this, then we're going to achieve.
And that, to me, is really, that is a good thing with a co-op game.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree.
Mm.
Yeah. I can see how this game, like if you have an alpha player, this is not the best game for it.
No, you have some co-op games where you're playing kinda together, winning or losing together, but then you have one person being the
Yeah,
best winner or something like that.
Yeah.
This is not that type of game at all.
no. Everybody wins or loses together.
Mm. Yeah. All right. What else is there to say about this game?
Well, I think one thing that is worth mentioning is that I think it has a pretty good replayability value.
Yes.
Because of all the different character combinations you can have and how different that functions on different player counts, or how many vampires you use, and that the map
Randomized.
has a random setup every time.
Also, the difficulty of the game is something you adjust in the beginning.
Yes, it is.
You have easy and medium and hard mode.
Yeah.
And that is decided by how many cards you draw. There are 3 piles.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3, and the third pile has more bad stuff.
Yeah, that's the worst pile.
That's the worst pile, and you have equal numbers from each pile that you choose, like 5, 5, 5, or 6, 6, or 4. Is it on hard mode?
I think the easiest one is 666, and then it's 444,
And
the
5,
hardest.
5, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you run out of cards, you lose the game.
Yeah. So there's a timer.
There's a timer, and also there is another thing that, like the veil. We haven't talked about the veil.
No, because if you do things that sort of draws the public's eye,
Yes.
then such as going on a massacre, for
Yeah.
example, then that draws public attention to you, and if that becomes too high or too low, I guess
Too
I
low.
should say, then you lose the game.
You lose the game.
You're found out and chased out of town.
And the agents moving on the map and the agents, the number of agents on the map also affect this veil thingy. Because if you have agents on the map, you have only that many that you use for each game, and you can't draw more agents because you haven't killed them and you don't have any agents in the pool. Then you just automatically subtract 1 level on the veil, and that again can also, like, if you let these agents go unchecked, you will be overrun, and that will also end your game and you will lose.
Yeah.
We lost the first game we played.
Oh yeah, horribly.
Very fast.
It was very fast.
But then after that we kind of learned how to navigate on the board, and we got some more we understood the tactical elements.
Yeah.
And you can go about this game using different tactics, and your characters also decide what tactics that are good to use.
Yeah.
So I think that sums up most of the stuff. So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Then, would you recommend Masters of the Night?
I would. I really would. It's. I think it was really good.
I agree.
Yeah, I really liked it.
If you were gonna give it a dice roll,
If I was going to give it
we
a
gave
dice,
the Hunger a dice roll, so let's do that here as well.
Yeah, so I would give it a 4, a pretty strong 4.
We only had like 4 and not like 4 plus and 4 minus last time, but if we were gonna give pluses and minuses, I would give this a 4 and this a 4 plus.
Right, yeah.
Which is, okay, so out of the 2 board games, which one did you like better?
Yeah, so on a rating from 1 to 2, I would have to give the top spot to Masters of the Night. I just enjoyed it more, which sounds really weird about... yeah, it's a Richard Garfield.
It's
The Hunger is a Richard
more popular
Garfield
game probably, and a Richard Garfield game, yeah.
But I really liked Masters of the Night, yeah. There's something very nice about like how simple the game design is, which you could also say about the Hunger, but I just feel like Masters of the Night has just this tiny little edge on it.
It was more smooth.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
I have to agree. So if I'm just gonna like say a game with 4 players, no contest. Masters of the Night. The Hunger, for more than 2 to 3 players, I feel it kind of becomes a bit clunky and too much downtime, and because your turn doesn't affect anyone else's turn for the most part. Yeah. So, but for a 2-player game, they're almost equal in my book. But I mean, I also agree. I would recommend this one before this.
Yeah. Even
for 2 players, or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
By a slight margin.
By a slight margin, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So
they're both good.
Both very good games.
Yeah.
And both have that really nice vampire theme and aesthetics and atmosphere. So if you want a good vampire board game for Halloween, you're good either way, but I would recommend this one first, and Jahn as well.
I agree, yeah.
And definitely something to check out for Halloween.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this was our second board game.
Yeah.
Very nice to have you back. And again, if you guys need some board games, go check out his board game store. I'll link it in the description again. Yeah. Cool, dude. Cool. So, hope nothing scary happens this time. I was frightened.
Yeah, it was a bit
spooky and scary.
Close call. Thanks for that, by the way.
Yeah.
Could have gone really bad.
I managed to save you there.
Yeah.
We should probably get out of here. Something that
let's just go.
Let's just go. Yeah.